maxillary nerve. The maxillary nerve, it is originating at the pons. In pons, there is trigeminal nucleus, which is a sensory nucleus. It is having a mesencephalic part, a spinal part, and a so this is a sensory nucleus which is shown in the blue. It is having a principal sensory nucleus, a mesencephalic nucleus, and a spinal nucleus. The mesencephalic nucleus, it is concerned with the proprioception. The principal sensory nucleus of pons is concerned with the fine touch, whereas the spinal nucleus it is concerned with the pain, temperature, sensations. So this trigeminal nerve, it will form a ganglion at the Meckel's cave, trigeminal cave. There is trigeminal ganglion. From this trigeminal ganglion, ophthalmic nerve, maxillary nerve, and mandibular nerve arises. These are sensory, mainly sensory part. See, the ophthalmic, it will enter to the lateral wall of cavernous sinus. Maxillary, it will also enter to lateral wall of cavernous sinus, whereas mandibular nerve, it does not enter into the lateral wall of cavernous sinus. Instead, it will go to the foramen ovale. So this maxillary nerve, which is entering into the lateral wall of cavernous sinus, through the foramen rotundum, it descends and it reaches at the pterygopalatine fossa. In the pterygopalatine fossa, it will suspend a ganglion which is called as pterygopalatine ganglion. So this maxillary nerve suspends a ganglion called pterygopalatine ganglion. This pterygo, actually speaking, the exact position of the pterygopalatine fossa is, it is present at the, so in front of the pterygopalatine fossa, there is maxilla bone, exactly the superior posterior part of the maxilla bone. Behind the pterygopalatine ganglion, there is pterygoid. This fossa is present at the apex of orbit. So this maxillary nerve, it will move forward and through the inferior orbital fissure, it enters into the inferior orbital fissure. Then it travels through the infraorbital groove, and it enters into the inferior infraorbital canal, and finally it emerges out through the infraorbital foramen, and it gives sensory supply to lower eyelid, that is, it will give palpebral branch. It also give branch to lateral part of nose, that is nasal branch, and it give branches to upper lip, that is superior labial branches. This is the course of the maxillary nerve. During this course, it is giving many branches. So now I will be discussing about the branches of the maxillary nerve. So in the middle cranial fossa, it gives a branch, dural branch or meningeal branch, which is supplying the sensory supply to the dura mater. Then it gives a branch at the pterygopalatine fossa. It gives ganglionic branch to the pterygopalatine ganglion. So the sensory fibers for the pterygopalatine ganglion are provided by this maxillary nerve. For any ganglion, pterygopalatine, for any parasympathetic ganglion, basically there are three inputs. That is a sensory input, a parasympathetic input, and a sympathetic input. So the sensory is provided by the maxillary nerve. This pterygopalatine ganglion, it is a parasympathetic ganglion. So the parasympathetic fibers are relayed here. whereas the sympathetic fibers and the sensory fibers just pass through it. So one branch it has given meningeal branch, then it has given ganglionic branches. In the pterygopalatine fossa itself, it gives 3 branches. That is, one branch is a zygomatic nerve. It enters through the, so this zygomatic nerve, it enters into the floor of the orbit on the lateral wall, and moving forward it divides into, it gives zygomaticofacial and zygomaticotemporal nerve. So from this zygomaticotemporal nerve, it gives a communicating branch to the nerve which is supplying the lacrimal gland, that is lacrimal nerve branch of ophthalmic nerve. So this lacrimal gland is getting the parasympathetic secretomotor fibers. It is getting the secretomotor fibers through the communicating branch. So this pterygopalatine ganglion is having sympathetic fibers, parasympathetic fibers, sensory fibers. So the sympathetic and parasympathetic fibers, it will jump into the, it will go through the maxillary nerve and through the zygomatic nerve, through the zygomaticotemporal, through the communicating branch, it gives secretomotor fibers to the lacrimal gland through the lacrimal nerve. Another branch provided by the maxillary nerve at the pterygopalatine fossa is the posterior superior alveolar branches. That is, it supplies the upper posterior teeth, that is molar teeth, 3 molar teeth. So through the posterior superior alveolar nerve, it gives sensation to the teeth. The last upper 3 molar teeth, it gives sensations and the gums associated with it. And as it is passing through the maxillary sinus, it also gives branches to the mucosa of maxillary sinus. So these branches will be passing between the, it also give when this maxillary nerve becomes the infraorbital nerve, it gives middle superior alveolar branch and anterior superior alveolar branches. Alveoli means teeth. So the anterior superior alveolar branch supply the teeth and the gums associated with the incisor and canine, whereas the premolar are supplied by middle superior alveolar branch. So the pterygopalatine ganglion, the sensory fibers for the pterygopalatine ganglion is provided by the maxillary nerve. So from this pterygopalatine ganglion, certain branches are arising. So from the pterygopalatine ganglion, it gives orbital branches which will supply the periosteum of the bone. So from the pterygopalatine fossa, when you go laterally, you will reach the infratemporal fossa through the pterygomaxillary fissure, because in front you have maxilla and behind you have pterygoid plate. So on going medially through the sphenopalatine foramen, you reach the lateral wall of the nasal cavity, where there is meatus, there is choana, where there is meatus. So when you when it gives branches, it gives posterior superior nasal branches. So this posterior superior alveolar nerve will be providing fibers to the lateral nasal cavity and medial wall, that is nasal septum. Among the medial, one nerve which is a nasopalatine nerve, it will go to the nasal septum and it moves downwards, and it also give through the greater palatine canal. The greater palatine nerve and the lesser palatine nerve passes through it, and it supply the palate. The greater palatine nerve supplies the anterior part of the palate, and the lesser palatine nerve, it moves posteriorly and supply the soft palate and the tonsils. Then through the palatovaginal canal, one of the branch will provide fibers to the, that is it will provide fibers to the nasopharynx.